What's up, everybody? Welcome to BioSB Raw TV. You guys asked for it, so now you're going to get it. We're about 14 weeks, tomorrow's 14 weeks out from Shawn. Today I'm doing delts. You guys wanted to see what I do. Now, I normally do 3 sets for body parts. So I've already done a couple warm-ups, and I did 1 set to failure with the 60s for laterals. I'll do 1 set to failure with the 70s for dumbbell lateral raises. Then I'll do 1 rear delt exercise to failure. Then we'll do bis and tris. So this is the second set to failure for side laterals. And it pretty much is going to be my heaviest set and the only set. This is my second delt workout of the week. It's hard to explain my rotation, but sometimes some body parts get 2 workouts in a week.
Come on, you got it.
The idea is to hit total positive failure. You guys will notice my range of motion is short. It's supposed to be like that. I'm also still working with a bad back, so it's hard for me to stand upright and still do this exercise. So you see, Corey gets caught in there. Positive muscular failure, and that's it. All right, second exercise for delts is rear delts. It's a 1-arm cable rear lateral. I hadn't touched the machine in about 1.5 years, 2 years. It's about 3 weeks ago I hurt my back doing barbell rows. I was using 365, and when I hit failure, I tried to put it back in the rack and tweak my back and get out of place. So since then, I've had to be able to kind of work around the injury, which I really don't like training with machines, but you got to train, so you can't just quit training. You got to show from them. So you'll notice that I do these again in a short range of motion. Everything is in that mid-range to try to keep constant tension on the delt. No accessory muscles pulling on or anything like that. I do always strap into these because, first of all, my grip will give out regardless of how strong I am, because the weight gets heavy after a little bit. But the idea is to stimulate that rear delt and take everything else out of it. So. I don't count reps because it really doesn't matter. So if I got 18 on one side and 12 on the other, it doesn't really matter because that takes that muscle to get stimulated and fail. So it's more of an advanced technique. And that's it for delts, so I'll move on to traps. Alright everybody, we're going to hit traps now. I already did 2 sets of shrugs with dumbbells. We'll do my last and third. When I go to failure, you guys will notice that I vary my chin, eat my chest the whole time to get a bigger range of motion than just this. And I was doing barbells for a while. I switched to barbells, and I was feeling good for a while. I was up to over 500, from sets of 12 to 15, and then tweaked my back. So now I'm back to lighter weights and isolating a little bit differently, but still got to hit failure. So I usually stick with like the 85 to 100s, depending like around how I'm feeling, like energy-wise, and then I'll go to failure. So you guys will see that range of motion for my traps that I think is very important for the traps, and then you guys will see me at failure. It's kind of like watching paint dry, watching someone do shrugs for failure, but you wanted to see it, so. So you guys can see there's no added movements with knees or lower back or anything like that. It's just real strict squeezing. I think that's a big thing on how to get your traps to grow and take those other body parts out of it. So we're going to move on to Buys next. Okay, shoulders and traps are done. We're heading out to buys. This is the third and final set of buys. I went up and actually came back down for my last set, which is the third set. Now, I don't train arms really very heavy at all. Have it for a long time. I just don't need to. They've grown since I was a kid. It was the first body part that grew. So basically, as long as I can feel the muscle contracting and hit failure with it, they go as heavy as it takes that to happen. So heavy's kind of all relative. Some guys use 80-pound, 90-pound dumbbell curls. I never really use above maybe 55 top. So going up to the 40s and coming back down. Again, you guys see that short range of motion that keeps it in that constant tension on the muscle, so that the whole time there's no joint giving it rest. There's no shoulder swinging it up to try to get to my chin. Then he's really burning my cal too. So notice this, the upper arm really moves. The upper arm stays stable. So just from your elbow to your forearm actually is what moves. You see a lot of guys getting that upper arm to swing, and your front delt winds up helping you trying to bring it up and take the pressure off the biceps. Okay, we're going to move on to triceps. Alright, finishing up triceps. This is the last body part, the last exercise. I did 2 sets. Failure, I do one arm push down, it's not reverse, overhand. And I think it's important to do one arm because one arm is usually stronger than the other and more developed than the other. So each arm has to pull its own weight to move the weight. So obviously if you can hit failure on one, hit failure on the other, maybe different reps, they're different strengths. So that's why I do one arm. You'll notice that I do take kind of a short range of motion with these two. Everything is abbreviated range of motion. Full ranges on my elbows hurt anything to do with triceps. I'm only 37, but my body, as far as training-wise, is like 114. It does not like a lot of those extended lockout movements just to fit that anymore. So you get to train around it. So we're going to finish these up. Almost done. Start with finishing up with 100 pounds on each arm. Finish up the workout. The whole thing was about 40 minutes total. It includes training time and rest time between sets. We're 14 weeks out as of tomorrow, 225 pounds on the button. Who knows where we'll end up, light, heavyweight, whatever. But all we can do is push forward and see where we can get to in 14 weeks. So keep posted, and we'll keep training, putting updates for you guys.